Hello YouTubers! Here is Mamacita Missy Jen, your new blonde girl on the block. Woo. And I am going to take you in the kitchen today. I think Rosie girl is going to bake something for us again today. And I have been all over her about harvesting the lemons and everything so that we can have the triple lemon overload cake, the best cake that she can make and one of my most favorite cakes that she makes. So let's go in and check it out.
Finally I found this bun pan down here. Woo!
There you are.
Caught me once again in the kitchen, and hi everybody and welcome into the kitchen today. It's a very special day for me. I'm making Jen's absolutely positively favorite cake today, the triple lemon overload. Now why is it triple lemon? It has lemon in the batter, it has lemon syrup that's poured on top, and it has lemon glaze on top. And it's an elegant looking cake, and it's baked on the bundt form pan here. So we have our own lemons, and I'm very sad to say it's almost the end of the season for us. So we have to use what we have left and make the most memorable lemon dessert of all. You saw the lemon meringue pie? This beats the lemon meringue pie. I'll get you down counter side in a second. We'll look at the ingredients and we'll get started. Thank you, Missy Jen. Welcome down to the counter, and let's talk a little bit about our ingredients today. We're going to use 2 cups of sugar. I know that seems like it's a lot of sugar, but since we're making a bundt cake, it's really the equivalent of 2-pound cakes that are going to be in here. So don't worry, this cake will not make you fat. And even if it does make you fat, I'll help you burn off your calories, huh? We're going to need 1 cup of butter softened. I've already had this sitting out for about an hour or so on the counter to soften. It'll be easier to cream with the sugar. We're going to need 3 cups of flour, and I like to use very good flour, the King Arthur flour, okay? We're going to need, as I said, the 4 lemons. We're going to be removing the zest or the yellow outside and then juicing them. We're going to need a little bit of vanilla extract, and we're going to need a little bit of salt. Salt adds structure to baked products. Some baking powder and some baking soda. Okay, not something that we use too often, but today we're going to use baking powder and baking soda. Okay, and you're going to need some non-stick spray, and of course 2 mixing bowls. 1 for the dry ingredients and 1 for the wet ones. Okay, so let's get underway. Let's get these lemons zested and get the juice out of them. Okay, I'm really getting turned on. I like to have that ding. How do I get that little bell sound, huh? Come and get it, boys. Okay, the next thing we want to do, as I mentioned, we're going to zest the orange. We're going to take our oranges in our grater, and very carefully watch your knuckles here and watch me. I'm going to just work that down here, starting at one end, and I'm just rotating the lemon, and I'm capturing all of the yellow on it. I'm not going to take any of the white. That's the very, very bitter pith. You don't want any of that at all, okay? Going to get all of that. I'm going to be shaking, rattling, and rolling here for the next few minutes. So enjoy the music, sit back, and as you'll see, as soon as I'm done removing all of the what they call the zest on the outside, and this is what it looks like in the bowl, I'm going to go ahead and cut the lemons in half and use this really cool juicer here. And go ahead and remove all of that luscious juice, okay? I'm having so much fun today, and we've just got there, didn't they? With that spurted out all over me. But can you blame that lemon, huh? Now we're going to make sure we have 3/4 of a cup of lemon juice. A little more is fine too. And it looks like we have about between 3/4 and 1 cup. So that's fine. We're not going to use all of that in the cake. We're going to use some of that for our syrup and some of that for our glaze. So for right now, we can set that aside. We have our beautiful zest and we have our beautiful juice. And well, we have one very turned on baker and some turned on lemons. I do want to add one correction to our list of ingredients. This is actually going to use 1 full pound of butter, okay? That is 4 of these sticks, and I have another one on the side. So it's 1 full pound of butter, okay? Next thing we need to do is combine our sugar and our butter and start to cream that together, okay? So I'll bring you down to counter side to get that started, okay? We have our butter in our big mixing bowl. We're gonna go ahead and add our sugar. Dump it right over top, okay? Now we're gonna put our mixer on very low speed and make sure to keep it low or this will coat you with sugar. And then, well, your Rosie will really be a sugar baby, huh, at that point. So let's start it on very low speed. Just to initially break up all the butter in here, okay? I find a little booby shake really helps the whole process. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and turn the mixer off and turn the sound off for you guys so you don't hear me mixing for the next 2 minutes. Enjoy this song and we're going to get right at it, okay? After this is all creamed and fluffy, and we like things that are creamy and fluffy, well, not everything fluffy, we're going to go ahead and add our eggs one at a time to it and then our zest, okay? So stay with me here, enjoy the music, and enjoy the show. Spoke a little earlier. We're going to use 3/4 of a cup of milk, not 1 full cup, and into the batter itself is going to go 1/4 cup of lemon juice. I know this shows a third, but it's measured to 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and also add 1 teaspoon of vanilla into the batter, okay, to give it some more complex flavor. We're going to go ahead and add this and then add the milk and the juice. Finished with all the wet ingredients. Now it's time to get on and do our dry ingredients. So we're going to take our 3 cups of flour and put that into our mixing bowl. We're going to go ahead and grab our whisk over here. Somewhere here I've got the whisk, and we're going to get our measuring spoons because we're going to need to measure out a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Going to baking soda. We'll do that first. Get that out, and that helps keep it fresh. So we're going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Doesn't have to be exactly correct. Some people are very anal retentive about recipes. I'm not. Basically, if you're in the ballpark, everything is going to work. Okay. There goes a bit. Just make sure your baking powder and your baking soda are relatively fresh, and you won't have any problem at all. I feel like giving you a booby shake, but I won't do it, okay? Then we're going to take 1 teaspoon, excuse me, of salt, and don't do it over the batter, okay? And sea salt tends to be a little clumpy, okay? Take your time. Get that teaspoon of sea salt, and we'll go ahead and we'll whisk that together really well. And this is a really, really important part of the process here, because you need to evenly distribute all of that baking powder and baking soda, okay? Want to do a really thorough job of doing that, okay? That's one of the things that separates having a real good cake from a cake that has some flat spots and some other things that don't make it real good, okay? Now we're almost to the home stretch. We have our pan here, our bundt pan. We're going to go ahead and spray that thoroughly. Remember, I have the wax paper in the bottom to give a little extra protection. Give it one more spray, and make sure to get the center spindle on there, because that's going to want to stick, okay? And now with our mixer, we don't even need our mixer. We can put that on the side. We're going to take our whisk and gradually combine. We're going to take 1/3 of it at a time of the dry ingredients. And we're going to work that right in here, okay? All right, it's going to be a pretty thick batter, okay? But it's going to rise really, really nicely, okay? I usually just do it in 2 parts. I'm not real fancy about that, okay? Now it's going to try to get a little dry on you. Just make sure to thoroughly combine it, and you let your whisk do the work, okay? Just like that. And if it's a little too dry at the end, which I don't think it will be, we're just going to spoon this batter in. And I'm now going to cut over to my spatula. Take my whisk. not my whisk, but my spatula. And just make sure there's no dry spots there. We don't like dry spots, do we? I know I don't. Okay, and you can see that batter is a very thick batter. Now we're just going to go ahead and take our bundt pan and just start filling it in down here, okay? Just try to get it evenly around. It will rise really well. Have no problem at all. It's a very, very thick batter, okay? It's like a pound cake batter. Very, very dense, very rich. It should be very, very moist. And I know you're very, very tired of hearing me say very. All right, put that in there. Don't worry, I just washed my hands really well, because I knew I would be doing this part, okay? So get every bit of that goodness out. Every bit of that, okay? You worked hard to get a really good batter. Now don't waste it. Get every bit of that. It's all technique. It's all technique. They call the Rosie girl, get it all, girl. Get it all. Now I'm going to rotate. I'm not going to push too hard. I just want to rotate here to kind of smooth the batter out and make sure it's evenly distributed. Don't worry, I'll give you a look down in a second. Here. Just want to make sure it's all evenly distributed. And then I'm just turning and pulling as I go along here. This will ensure that the cake rises nice and evenly, okay? You don't want to compress it, you just want to push down, okay? Alright, and there we go. Okay, so I'm going to sit that on the side. I'm going to wipe my hands off, and we have one beautiful bundt cake ready to go into the oven. Are you excited? I am. Okay, I'll be back with our baking instructions and all cleaned up in 1 second, okay? We have worked awful hard today to reach the point where we have a wonderful cake ready to go into the oven. And this is going to go into a 375-degree oven for 1 hour if you're using a bundt pan. If you're using 2 standard pound cake pans, 4 inches by 8-inch pans by 4-inch deep, it'll be 45 minutes, and you'll want to keep an eye on it. So in she goes for an hour, no peeking. I will see you all back here in 1 hour, okay? And make sure when you're using a bundt pan that you put a, what you want to do is make sure you have a pan underneath to protect the bottom of your oven, because sometimes the batter oozes out a little bit and goes down onto the bottom of the oven, and it causes a lot of smoke and a lot of smell. See you in an hour. Don't forget, we still have some more to do here with making our juicing for it, what we call our syrup that's going to go on it, and we're also going to make our glaze. Okay, this is a more complicated than usual, but oh, so much better to enjoy this cake. It is amazing, trust me. Usually I don't recommend taking a look inside to check the cake, but I'm so excited about this one. I'm going to do it very gently. I don't want to deflate the cake, okay? Generally, you shouldn't really check a cake until about 40 or 50 minutes in, because if you disturb it, it can flatten and it won't rise again, okay? So let's take a little peek here. Let's take a shot. Oh yeah, look at that. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. It's definitely starting to rise. It's looking good too. It's been an hour. Let's go ahead and pull the cake, and we'll put it up on the stove here. And we'll go ahead and we'll take our cake tester, and we'll make sure that when we poke it, it comes out clean, okay? That's our test. We don't want anything. Yep, comes out clean, so the cake is done. I'll bring you down for a closer look, huh? Oh, I I can't believe it. The whole house just smells so much like lemons. It is amazing here. Look what came out of the oven. Our beautiful triple lemon cake. And we're not done yet with this beautiful bundt cake, but you can see the beautiful same color all the way around. Beautiful topping on it. And but we're not done yet. We're going to be infusing this. Remember we saved this lemon juice? We're going to be infusing this with the lemon juice. We're going to mix this with some sugar and then watch what we do next. I'm going to push the cake off to the side, and you remember the lemon juice that we saved. We're now going to pour that into a saucepan, and we're going to put 1/4 of a cup of sugar in there, and we're going to turn the heat on, and we're going to get this turned into a very simple syrup. Okay, so let me get the spatula there, not the spatula, but my spoon, and let's go ahead. We want to stir that. We don't want that to burn, but this will turn a nice clear color when all the components have been properly put together there. It'll lose that cloudiness and be more of a syrup. Okay, so we're going to mix this in. No scorching, no burning, and this is going to be part 2 of our cake, and we still have one more part to go. This is a very, very, very elegant. You can already see that the simple syrup is already clarifying here. And we're going to wait till it gets to a fairly clear note. And it's the second step in infusing our cake. And it's what really gives it that second of the triple overload of lemon. I really hope you've enjoyed this so far. This is a spectacular cake, and we still have the best to come. Okay, keep stirring. Don't let it burn. Look how much clearer that is than when we started. All of that sugar has been dissolved, and it's now time to prepare our cake to be able to take this infusion. And what we need to do is get our fork, which I'm going to grab over here, our big fork, and we're going to go around and we're going to make holes. You won't even notice them when it's all done. We're going to make holes around the perimeter, and what this is going to do is allow that syrup to really soak down inside. It'll have places to go. It won't sit on the surface. Okay, so we're going to take a little time now. We're going to get a spoon out. Let me go grab a spoon. Pardon the camera work. Grab a tablespoon here. I'm going to sit mine. Be careful now with the syrup. It is hot. Okay, and we're going to go ahead, take this syrup, and we're just going to spoon it onto the cake like that. And once it starts to accept it and it finds those holes, then you can actually take your pot, your small pot of the infusion, and actually pour it on. We just don't want it to be wasted and run all down the sides at first. Okay, we want to take our time, and this is the fun of baking. Infusing, it's not something that a lot of bakers do, but it's the difference between a really outstanding cake and a good cake. So we go ahead now, and you can see it's kind of finding that crevice right there, right in the middle. So we're going ahead, and we don't want to waste any of it. We want to shoot it right down there, let it absorb it. Don't be in a rush. And boy, is this going to spike this up and give this second overload of lemon. So we did a pretty good job. There's not a lot down below. It'll be snatched up by the cake and absorbed. Okay? Put the last of it on, and we'll now let it sit there. Okay, and we've got one more step on the process. We are in the home stretch now. I want to take one of my lemons that I have from the garden. I need to have about 3.5 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I'm going to roll that for a second, that lemon. Now I hope you can see this. Okay, I'm rolling that. That releases some of the juices inside. Then I'm going to take and juice that right here. And I've been sprayed a couple times today, haven't I, huh? Ooh, lemon showers, huh? All right. We're gonna get that other one out there. Get that other half right here, and I'm gonna sit this here so maybe you can see it a little better. Get that juice out. I see I have one little seed there. Okay, and I'm gonna remove that seed right on the edge. Thank you. Came right out right there. And I think this is about 3 tablespoons. So I'm going to open up the confectioner sugar. I'm going to put in about, I guess about 2 cups or so. 2.5, 3 cups. And let's start working that together now. And what we're doing now is actually starting to make our glaze for the top. And you'll see how you think that's a lot, but you'll see how very fast this works down. And if you need more of the liquid, don't hesitate to just grab another lemon, grab your squeezer, your juicer, and just juice some more juice right in there. And we're making a lemon infused glaze right now. I don't want to put too much in. I don't want to weaken it too much. You can see how that's starting to come together. I'm going to get a little more juice here, and I think I'll have the perfect consistency for our glaze, okay? Just be careful not to get any seeds in it, all right? Stir that a little more. This should be perfect, and this is the triple. This is the 3rd level of the triple overload. It is a lemon infused icing, okay? We're going to mix that up real good. Make sure that's whisked together and put together really well. Okay, like that. So you can see how beautifully that's come together. Let me tell you, that is a tangy, tasty treat right there, okay? You add a little more, and you can always keep this for cookies later. If you don't use it all, it's no